All right, here is our last example for this lesson. So this says a machine at a sawmill cuts a 4-inch by 4-inch piece of wood lengthwise across its diagonal as shown. It says find the perimeter and area of the cross section formed by the cut. So I'm going to go ahead. We have this drawing right here. I'm going to go ahead. You guys see that dashed line. They are taking the saw and they are cutting it through at the diagonal. So you're going to see, let's see if I can get my lines a little straighter. You're going to see that piece of wood open up and it's going to be a flat rectangle, okay? And then the ends are diamonds. But we want to find the perimeter so we don't have to worry about, the corners. Right now we just need to focus on how we're going to find the perimeter and the area of the cross section. Just the cross section, that 2D plane that looks, something like this out of it, okay? So we see 8.5 feet to be the length of this rectangle. We know that this and this is a 4x4, but we don't know what that diagonal piece cuts into because that's going to be our actual length for our cross section. If you see it's a square and it's got hard edges and it creates a right triangle, so we're going to go ahead and use the Pythagorean theorem. Because we know the two sides, we can use the Pythagorean theorem because c squared equals a squared plus b squared. 4x4 is a and b. So 4 squared and 4 squared equals c squared. C squared equals 16 plus 16, that's the square root of 32. And that gives us, when we break it apart, c to equal 4 root 2. Okay, that right there is our side. Then we know the length of it. The length of it is 8.5 feet. However, we were working with inches, so we need to go ahead and change 8.5 feet into inches. So think back to like dimensional analysis. There are 12 inches in 1 foot to convert it over. So 8.5 times 12 is 102, and that's inches. So we have 102 inches, which means that's 102, and this is 4 root 2. So we can find the perimeter by adding all those pieces up. So P equals 2 times 4 root 2, that covers both edges, plus 2 times 102, that covers both lengths. When we go ahead and we put that together, that gives us 8 root 2 plus 204, which is approximately 215.34 inches for the perimeter. Now the area is easier. It's a rectangle. Our cross section says that it's going to, it is clearly a rectangle. It's length times width. So 102 times 4 root 2 is our area. That gives us 408 root 2, which when you plug that root 2 in and round it, it's approximately 577 inches squared. All right, so that's our perimeter and our area of our cross section. So 3 different things you guys have been doing for a long time. Now we're just adding the fact and the real life connection to cutting up a piece of wood into those pieces, which if you imagine places like IKEA, if you guys know IKEA furniture, it's quite important for their manufacturers to cut the pieces the same exact height and have the same area and the same perimeter so that when you're building a shelf, everything matches. So, obviously they have electronic machines doing things like that, but people who do woodworking as a hobby or a career by hand, this is something that comes in very handy. All right, that's it for this one.